And we are live.
Evening, so
Oh
folks.
my God. So we'll get some folks is up in here. Two folks is up in here. Hello, hello, hello.
Well, you know, PD's one of them.
You know it.
Well,
PD right there.
Yeah,
PD.
that one. That's PD.
That's on there.
That's Ugly Mug.
You see a lot
That's
more
uglier
there
than Ugly Mug.
earlier.
And that's the Sexy Beast.
Said beast maybe, and I don't know about sexy. So. Damn. Catman went sideways on me.
Like tilt. It's like tilt. He's on a roller coaster.
He went sideways, and I heard ding, 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 ding.
No, he went sideways, and you heard. What's going on, earlier. Thomas? What's going on? 351. What's going on, Big Ranch? What's up, buddy?
Big Ranch. Big Ranch is in the house. Yeah, so as you all.
I have been out too long.
Maybe we got 6 out. What?
I've been out of this too long.
Yeah, you don't know half these people.
No. See, that's why you got to get back in the game. Step up your game.
You're no longer world known.
No.
Oh, yeah. No. I still get. You had a heart attack on YouTube, didn't you? Yep.
He's a side piece now.
He's a side piece.
What's up, NJ?
Catman didn't want to get in burst.
I'm still here.
J&J, what's up, buddy?
J&J. So we're starting to get a few more people in here.
And we got 8 in here now.
Yep. We get enough people in here, we'll start the show. Start the show for real. In the meantime, we'll just talk crap. Serena.
Yeah. Well, here.
Hey,
I don't know how to do that.
Serena. Or Serena.
What? You don't know,
I know
how to
Serena.
do
You know Serena.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know Laughing Cat, that's her husband, Thomas.
Oh, okay,
Serena.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Thomas. So for those of you that are in here tonight already,
Squirrel.
we'll go ahead and kind of
Squirrel.
Hey,
What? Squirrel.
We'll go ahead and kind of throw it out there. This is obviously we just kind of doing a random show tonight. Q&A. You ask the questions, we'll give it a shot at answering them. We're pretty much no holds bar tonight.
Oh
As
Lord!
long as it don't get out of, as long as it doesn't get out of hand.
Censored.
As long as it doesn't get too much out of hand.
Okay,
So
we already had that before the show, Jim. Button it up. Come on.
That was Kevin.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Button it up.
and
I've
I
seen
was
enough of Kevin already.
This is my Magnum PI imitation.
Okay, go.
I know. Before it started, I thought we went from TikTok to OnlyFans. I didn't know what was happening.
All I could say was a happy trail to all the way straight up as soon as the big screen came on.
So as I was saying,
PayPal money was flying.
I kept getting hit with quarters. I don't know why.
Somebody's getting hit in quarters. There's Mother Squirrel. There's Mother Squirrel.
It's the other squirrel.
Magnet.
We keep having squirrels in here. We're gonna have us a. Well, never mind. I ain't gonna finish that thought.
Can't concentrate.
You can't concentrate.
Serena's keeping it real. Says, "Hey, dope boy."
Whisker and Hogs, what's going on?
Happy Tuesday.
Happy
2 days
Tuesday.
closer to Friday.
So there you go. Which my Friday's on Saturday, so
yeah. I will put this disclaimer out. None of us are experts on anything. Yes, Jim, you're not an expert on anything.
Oh, I am.
We're not going there. That's the different. That's the after hour show.
that's a different show.
That's a whole different show.
we might get
All
carried.
you gotta have is a roll of electrical tape and a gerbil. You're good.
Oh, good God.
Armageddon.
The squirrels were loose in Mississippi too, right?
Yep. But if you wrap them up real tight and put a hook through it, you can catch a hell of a bass off of it for bait.
True.
True. Amy Jo said duct tape and a password. What?
Safe word.
A safe word.
Pineapple.
Safe word.
He said pineapple.
Pineapple.
I've got some friends. I've got some friends here locally that she'll post just about their whole life, and it's hilarious. And she posted that they went into Walmart, and her husband asked her, said, you want to get some pineapple? And she said, sure. Well, she didn't realize that he took a whole pineapple and set it into the buggy.
Upside down.
Upside down.
I don't know nothing about that.
She said she's never met so many friendly folks in Walmart in her life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it wasn't until later that she found out all what the significance of all that was. I was crying, son.
Oh my God.
Mm.
I know about the pineapple, but I understood.
Tom says, yeah.
Upside down pineapple.
Tom says, hello, everyone. Can't chat, but listening. Whisker
What's
and
going on,
Hog.
LG? Whisker and Hog says rats work too.
Yep. Hook them through the tail and just throw them out there. They'll swim around.
Yep.
This is true. Swim around.
Frog would too.
If you don't put the black tape around a hamster or gerbil, the fur will get wet and they'll sink. Oh.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Oh Lord.
I'm trying to talk about fishing here, yo.
Well, there ain't but two ways you can go, either down or up. So
Yeah. We're already all the way down. 8 minutes into the show and we're already lost people.
Right. Like, wait, was this the after show? Wait.
Oh, here we go. Finally, we can get to our true meaning of the show.
So do you find floats or demon dragons to be effective in cold winter waters? Yes.
Yep.
Especially when you're using Santee rigs.
Yep.
So they that's pretty much a year round thing.
Yeah, but see, up here fishing the Ohio, I can't use them off the bank because in the winter the current gets up and you throw it out there and 20 minutes later it's
got a mess.
10 foot off the bank or you're hung up and everything because it picks it up and takes it.
Yeah. See, we got the Slime Seeker, which I'm wearing. Well, wearing a shirt tonight. The Slime Seeker rattling floats that I've been using. I know
You weren't wearing it a while ago.
No. No.
I'm wearing it well now though.
That was one of those free shows.
So you said free? Did you say free
I'll be right
show
back.
or free?
Free.
But yeah, so those rattling corks that I was using this weekend, they seem to work really well. But now, keeping in mind, like PD and I, we're down here in the South, so our waters don't get quite as cold as those northern rivers and lakes do. So,
I mean, when I fished with Larry and Cody from 3+1 Outdoors on their water, no current, nothing even during the winter and colder water. I mean, it still works. Demon Dragons, they're all for Demon Dragons no matter what time of the year. So,
Well, I think that it's talking about with no current. If you drag and you create a little bit of a current anyways,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
therefore it's still gonna have a little bit of a rattle.
no, and that's basically what we do. Is we usually drag baits.
I'm poor.
Yeah.
Pig, float, and line rattles.
Hey, whatever works though. I mean, the question was floats or demon dragons, period. So,
Yeah.
the fact that you
Yeah, I mean,
keep it up.
I mean, it's still the same true as during the spring and summer as it is in
Oh, yeah.
the cold winter waters. It's
Well, the
still
purpose-
it still presents that bait,
Yeah.
to that fish in
That's
a
right.
right way.
And in deeper water, I have from my line to my weight, I have made it really long to get off the bottom 4 or 5 foot
Yeah,
dragging baits to get on their level.
yeah. We lost you.
Thomas said he prefers peg floats, and it's the same. It don't matter if it's a
Yeah.
peg float or demon dragon. It still represents the exact same thing. It pops that bait up off the floor, presents it like it's floating like a real fish to them. So
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna feed basically the same way. They
Yeah.
may. I mean, they're gonna, depending upon how cold the waters get, will depend on how lethargic they get. But they still got to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been gorging themselves all through the fall to come into these colder winter months. So that they don't have to feed as much. Or exert all that energy as much. So
Yeah.
But they still eat. So you present that bait just right, and they're gonna take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree, Thomas. They're the peg floats are cheaper. I mean, I use a good bit of the peg floats myself. I utilize those a good bit. I've done the Demon Dragons, and I'm doing the Slime Seeker Rattling Corpse right now. Doing a full blown test with them, making sure that they're good to go, and representing my boys Chris and Joseph from SlimeSeeker.com. So y'all go check them out. I mean, they are what they are, but but it is it is regardless of what you use, presenting that bait, is detrimental to whether you catch anything or not.
Maurice is in the house.
there's
I see
Maurice, there's JBT.
My brother. Yeah, JBT, what's going on, brother? So those of you that are just coming into the live stream, we are doing a Q&A tonight, as it stated. Basically, audience participation. It is a no holds bar. You can ask any question that you want to ask within reason. We will answer those questions. So feel free to ask anything that you may.
To the point where we may have to plead the fifth on some things.
Yeah, and
I'm not ashamed of nothing.
we might have to mute you.
Yeah. Just kick him off the stream. We're done kicked one off the stream already.
And as you guys can see, we've got PD in as a guest co-host tonight again. He was with us last week, and asked him to be on again tonight. Plus, we had Kentucky Catman in here, but apparently he has to go do something, so
yeah,
he stepped out. What time of
the year do you fish higher in the water column?
Again, with our waters, mine and PD's waters, it
actually varies through the year.
It does. It varies real.
When there's barometric pressure, like when it's high or it's low.
No.
You just really have to pay attention to your fish finder and figure out where they're active at.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on it. Like PD said, it depends on where they're at. My waters here, they're anywhere from 15 to 20 feet down.
Yeah.
That don't mean that's the bottom of the water. That's right now.
Yeah.
That's where they're finding them, about 15, 20 feet under. So,
Well, it also depends on what fish you're going after too. In other words, what are you
True.
targeting? I mean, and I mean, I know a lot of us are, in those of us here on the panel as well as what's in the chats tonight. They go for catfish and everything. But you got to think there's like 3 different types of cats that we can all target, and depending on what you're actually targeting can make that can make that determination as well. A lot of us
Actually, target 4.
the biggest thing about finding fish or looking for
I got you,
fish
buddy.
in the higher water column is definitely during spawning season. You're going to find them in that shallow area, in the higher column area. That's the time you're going to find them, definitely. Other than that, they're going to be sporadic.
Well, one of the things that I have found and learned and found here recently is with the water starting to cool off and get colder, on those bright sunny days like we had Saturday, those early morning, or I say early morning, in other words, around 10, 11 o'clock or so, once that sun's kind of come up and started warming those waters up a good bit, they'll hit the shallows pretty quick. So, or they'll come up through the border column a little bit more. Because the waters are starting to get warmer in the shallows, and they're gonna hunt that little bit warmer water. There were several fish over the weekend during the tournament that we were in that were caught in like 2 or 3, 4 foot of water, and they all took place around 10 o'clock. Because that sun had just hit and started warming up those shallower waters. So. Thomas said 20 feet in my river's a deep hole. Yeah, Maurice, we're working on that right now. We're trying to get that squared away for PD.
Yes.
So,
I would say
it won't be long.
20 feet. If 20 feet's a deep hole for you, I'd say I'd look around about the 8 to 12 foot.
Yeah.
8 to 12 foot, especially if 20 feet. See, my water, the deepest hole is 139.
Well, see, 20 foot, I can relate to him because the river that I fish that is close to me is the Little PD. This year has been real dry, even when the water's high. I'm not going to find a 20-foot hole.
No.
Deepest I'm going to find is probably 17, 16. That's right at the boat landing. Big PD, I can find it, but there's always just stuff I look for.
Well, I mean, on places like that, I would say you're looking for a ledge,
Yes.
a drop off. You're looking for spots like that.
Yeah, mainly in the beginning.
Especially if you don't have the deeper holes, you're looking for ledges and drop offs.
Yeah, shallow water, you want to fish trash piles,
Mm-hmm.
and the beginning on the outside of any curb, any bend, because where that bend starts at is deeper. You have a drop off.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing. That's that can hold true for river or lake. This weekend I was the first time I'd ever fished a river system. In a boat. In other words, in my boat, and I was utilizing a lot of the same skills that I use, in the lakes and everything, and started looking for those shallow water fish and such as that. And that's where we found them, was in the shallow waters. Now we had areas that were 20, 40. There was one that was like 65 to 70 foot that we wasn't too far from, that we had talked about going to. But by the time that we were getting over there to it, we felt like they probably weren't going to be in there, So at the time they were going to be be there. But I think that because we were utilizing some of the same skills in what we have learned, what I have learned over the past few years, I think it's what helped us tremendously of being able to get on the fish, pretty quick.
You just gotta get out of your bedroom and quit playing with your teddy bear and get on the fish.
I thought my computer crashed just a minute ago.
Oh, okay.
He was sitting there eating over top of the laptop. He probably spilt stuff on top of it. That's his excuse. It crashed.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Any other questions you guys may have? Again, this is open forum. You can ask any question that you feel is necessary or pertinent to this show. It doesn't necessarily have to be about fishing, but it would be nice to have more.
I mean, it could be anything about YouTube. It could be anything like that. What's up, Freddie?
Equipment. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
Freddie.
Freddie, yeah, you did the same thing.
He's stopping through. So we're not important for you to stop and stay a while. You just have to pass us on by. I see how it is.
Oh yeah, he'll come through. Freddie was the man of the hour this past Saturday. he
Got
caught
more fish than you did.
He caught more weight than we did. So,
Got more fish than you did.
Well, he did that too, yeah. And so he was very detrimental in boosting the Cooper River into that winter circle. So
Maurice Cason, what's going on, brother?
So who on screen has the biggest PB? That
I
would
was
be
gonna say Jim does.
yeah, on record, yes, he does.
Yep, on record he does.
68-pound flathead, 64.8 champ or blue, and a 22-pound channel.
Now, if you come around my area, you ask anybody around Fort Rich, we called a 73.
We're not talking about anybody else around you. We're talking about you.
No, this was me. This was me.
So no start your sentence. People around us.
No, we was all fishing. I hooked at my rod. I brought him in.
So Creole asked, what do you all think about the progression of products and techniques in catfishing over the past 5 years?
Ooh.
Mm.
Well, Jim's been doing it the longest.
Jim's got his mouth full. He can't stop eating.
Honestly, I think these things, a lot of this stuff's been used over the years since catfishing got so big in YouTube. More people in different regions are figuring out this guy fishes like this and it works. This guy's doing this. I've been catfishing, you might as well say, 45 years. And I still find myself when I go to the river, I've got a Carolina rig. I've got a hook, a swivel, and a sinker, and that's it.
My buddy Visionary just dropped in.
Considering that out of at least 3 of the panels up here, because I'm not so sure about Kelly exactly, but I'm probably the newest catfisherman on this panel right now. Even though I've been doing it for 4 years, one of the things that I have seen, and that's actually a good question, Creole, based on what I've seen coming up through YouTube and catfishing and such as that, there are a lot of products that are the same, just being utilized a little differently, that are on the market. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it gives more people choices as far as what they want to use or what they can use or can afford to use, like we always say, because that was one of the premises that we were always talking about, talking about as I was coming up, was use what you can afford. But there's a lot of products out there on the market that are good products. A lot of hooks, a lot of rods, reels, some a little better than others. I mean, and a lot of it has to do with preference as well, I believe. Now, as far as techniques are concerned, I'm honestly going to say that I haven't seen a whole lot of new techniques other than the bumping. That was new to me, and I still haven't done that yet. But other than that, I think a lot of people are still using a lot of the same techniques in fishing as they did, 5, 10, 15 years ago, for that matter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 35, 36 years ago, my granddad was using what we call a Sandy Cooper rig now in Kentucky Lake. He would take just the red and white bobbers and put it halfway between his hook and his weight on the Carolina rig, throw it out there, and keep that up on there.
Yeah. And I agree with Freddie on this. The rod qualities have improved over the last few years. I will say
Yes.
that. Of course, he's doing a unashamed
Shameless,
plug for
little
this.
shameless plug there.
But hey, I tell you what, I did get to witness did get to witness these rods in action this weekend, and let me tell you, they're pretty badass. I can't lie.
They're good.
To be so
They're good
short,
rods. I used them on J Dog's boat. They're really, I like them.
they
And-
have a great backbone to them.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Freddie's got a good set of rods, and that he is producing, and I foresee them get taking off pretty big here in the near future. I really do.
Oh yeah.
Creole says so many choices for gear now, and you're right, especially when it comes to hooks, floats, swivels. I mean, there's so much more, and that's something Creole that has been new in the last 5 years. Is the influx of new gear that's available to you. And that's just the fishing aspect of it. Then you've got all of the new fish finders. You've got there's just a whole big market for fish finders that didn't used to be but two, and that was Lowrance and
Humminbird.
crap, I can't think of it. I keep wanting to say Minn Kota, that's not right. But anyways, there wasn't but like two brands. And now you've got Garmin, and you've got
We got Lowrance.
there's Lowrance, Garmin, and what's that other up and coming one? Can't think of who it is now. But even those companies, the big what I call the big companies, they've improved their Humminbird. Thank you. God, I couldn't think of what it was. They've improved their products in such a way that it becomes an advantage for those of us on the boat to be able to find fish and get on them and be able to see in some cases see the fish come up to the bait, literally come up to the bait and hover around it, and you can predict that they're about to take it.
I mean, look at before. I mean, you had what? I think which one was the original what? Humminbird? Humminbird was original. Little bitty screen, barely showed you anything on that screen. And look what we have Live Scope to literally tell you what the bait looks like. You can see your stuff going down, your bait going down to the fish and hooking it and it biting it and everything. I mean, it's just that.
Well, Lawrence has just come out with the Reveal. They've got the Reveal that does very similar. It's not it's not quite like the Live Scope, but it does basically the same thing. And so in that you can see the fish come up to your bait. You can see your bait in the water, and you can see that fish come up to the bait. My buddy Jim Rhodes has that on his boat, and we have sat there literally and watched that graph, and he says that rod, and he'll point that rod right there. Watch that rod right there. And sure enough, he'll grab it and he'll go, and you're on. It in some cases it almost takes the fun out of fishing in some ways in that regard, because it's like it's like watching a video or playing a video game. I mean,
I want to say hi to Angel Hawk. She said several things. I don't think anybody. Happy holidays.
I said out to her in the chat. But she said happy holidays, everyone.
Yep. And then Creole is hit it dead on the head right there.
Yep.
People ain't sharing their secret spots. They're taking people out and teaching them how to do it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more information is being shared these days. And he's right. Many more are now willing to teach others on those public platforms, such as YouTube and now we have TikTok and everything else. There was very few people that I could watch whenever we first started on YouTube. I mean, I was watching YouTube to learn how to target fish, and there were very few people at that time that I could watch, and learn from. I mean, but I took the information that was given to me and I put it into play, and that's when we started catching fish. And and
I'm
then,
glad.
of course,
I'm glad.
they've only gotten bigger. Do what?
I'm glad.
I am too.
Yeah, we're all glad you're learning.
I'm constantly learning. Look, if you're not learning something new every day, you're not living.
Trust me, if there's a person out there that's big into catfishing and tell you right now they ain't learning something new, they're done. They're done.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, there's big people there. I mean, Chris Souders, Dieter Melhorn. We got kayak catfishing. All those guys. I mean, they're all still learning something.
Yes, they are.
They're
Even
all
the
learning
world
something
renowned-
new. I mean,
Even
there's
the-
always somebody go, "Hey, what about this?" And they're like, "Well, I never thought of that." Well,
Yeah. Well, even the world-renowned, Kentucky Catman learned something new.
yeah.
Once in a while, he knows too
Yeah.
much.
Well,
He knows.
come February, I don't know if he's ever learned how to do it, but he's going to learn how to twerk real good.
Did we do it? No, we didn't do it.
Because-
No,
Because twerking
We never
Tuesday
did
is
do
going
that.
on the road, and all four of us down here on panel are on the road.
we'll be on the road. Yep. Yeah, Creole. If you're not learning, then you're not paying attention. You got that
Nope.
right.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, if you ever get to that point in which you think you know it all and you're not paying attention, you will, like Kelly said, you will get left behind real
Yeah.
quick and in a hurry.
I mean, you
So-
become stale, and nobody wants to watch you.
Right. Exactly right.
Nobody wants to come in and enjoy your live stream or your show or your content because you just get boring.
Hmm.
Let me go ahead and put it out there for a lot of the newbies. I said newbies, newcomers into the show tonight. We are, as you can see, just having a straight Q&A forum tonight. I'll say
Disclaimer.
this again.
Disclaimer. There will be probably some plead the fifths.
I will say this: anything goes. You can ask whatever questions you feel free that you want to know the answers to within reason. We do reserve the right to not answer.
Somebody
certain
ask a question about the teddy bear.
No. And
How long has the teddy? How long has the teddy bear been in that room?
Why are you looking at the teddy bear for? Like it's going to talk to you.
Get out of the
Since-
dress.
And why are you pulling his shirt up?
since 2021, because I got it branded since 2021.
Got it branded.
Has Amy Jo ever looked over there and winked at it?
No, but the Bears always looked over her and winked.
Look at what Matt said. Within reason. Psh, I'm out.
I see that. I saw that.
I don't know if all in here is in Kentucky other than me and Kelly, but the governor just came on, and evidently Kentucky's fixing to get hit with some pretty bad stuff.
We are.
Oh wow.
If you haven't seen it, I know a lot of people know who he is. Ryan Hall, y'all, on YouTube. He's done announced that Kentucky is getting ready to get hit hard by some storms. So,
Man in Owensboro falls out a tree in wood chipper.
As of this point right now, never.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Just like
It's
the
gonna
movie Sandlot. Never. I will have a PB bigger than his forever.
No, that is not true.
all right, here you go.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
All right, quit pushing it.
All right.
All right, for
For
each person on panel, what's the one piece of information that changed the way you fish the most?
Let's start with PD on that one.
Really nothing. To be honest, I still fish the same way I did when I was a kid fishing with my grandpa. If we fish in a tournament, yes, all the electronics is on. I do some stuff different, but if I just hook up to the boat and I'm going fishing, I don't use no electronics. I still look for current breaks and trash piles and I mean, electronics and stuff is nice. It's nice. It did change some. So I guess yeah, electronics would be the biggest change of the way I fish.
How about you, John?
Same. I've got a Lowrance depth finder that I can cast since I fish from the bank in these lakes and find different holes and stuff now. I guess the biggest thing that I did, years ago, I would take an egg sinker, slide it up, put a split shot on there, crimp it down on the line, and tie a knot around that split shot, and then tie like a Polymer knot onto the hook. So you always had that weak spot right there where that split shot was tied on. And since watching everybody and everything, I've learned how to snell hooks because I always thought Eagle Claw had a magic machine to do that. And, and now I put a swivel and a bumper up there for my weight so it's not beating the hell out of that swivel. I mean, so it's changed quite a bit the way I fish. Still use a Carolina rig, but.
How about you, Kelly?
Google Earth.
Okay.
Google
hear
Earth
that
Pro
one.
is. I mean, that's the biggest thing that's changed for me is able to use that Google Earth Pro and to be able to backtrack the waters that I fish to see how it's changed over, to see different spots on the water. Especially because I'm more of a bank fisher, so
Right.
I have to look at different areas to be able to bank fish. Even though I don't have that big of opportunity to fish off the bank, I have to find my spots. And using Google Earth and Google Earth Pro is really helped benefit me be able to do that more now. It's became
Cool.
more advanced, definitely seeing all that stuff.
Well, for me, I think the biggest or the best information, I'll put it that way, the best information, because I've, again, being still new to the sport, 4 years into it, I'm still learning every day. So information that I receive could ultimately change the way I fish now. But what literally changed the game for me wasn't electronics, wasn't the case of being able to get out on the water and fish or anything of that nature. Okay. What literally changed the game for me was learning to look at the lay of the land. That, just like what PD was talking about earlier, watch for those points, watch your birds. A lot of that come from Pop, the birds, watch your birds, if they're feeding on if they're feeding off the bank right there, then especially if you're bait fishing, go right there. They're going to be there,
Yep.
If you've got seagulls, hitting the water, in a certain spot, then there's a big shad ball sitting just into the above the water or in the water column there, which means that there's predatory fish, feeding, and that's a good indication of where you can catch some fish. Then watching like I said, watching those points and those bends in the in the lakes and the rivers and such as that, learning to just basically being able to learn the lay of the land so that you can get a feel for what might be a good fishing spot, and then use your electronics to see what's there.
Yeah,
that changed the game for me. Once I learned all that, my whole way of fishing changed, and fish. I'm getting bigger. Fish are getting bigger every day. Every time I, not every time I go out, but I mean, I'm saying, they're getting bigger. I'm catching bigger and bigger, which means I'll catch your PB or over your PB shortly. So just keep that in mind, Kelly. But,
I will be going back out more. So hey,
Laughing Cats. What, if anything, do you do differently during the spawn? I don't fish during the spawn.
I do. I'll get out there. I just use small bait if I can. Oh yeah, I will.
I mean, I'll fish shallow areas where I'm bank fishing. I mean, I'll just throw up shallower. But I mean, other than that, I don't try to target the spawning areas. I just throw up shallow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I just here it's end of June and 1st of July. It's so freaking hot anyway.
Well, not that, and you also got all the boat traffic.
Boats and bugs.
Yeah.
And I
That's why you fish it at night.
now fishing the river. I won't fish a lake or anything during the spawn around here, just because it's too hot and stuff. But the river, I'll fish it at night. Just to kill time and get away from everybody.
Creel makes the statement that for him it was learning that catfish are predators, not the bottom feeding nasty bait eating the scavengers that he was taught growing up, and that I can agree with that. Growing up, they were bottom feeders. It's how you fish was on the bottom.
Yep.
So yeah, I can see where that could be a game changer as well. The type of information that you were looking at, Creel, I certainly can. Mike Greenwell, what's up, buddy?
I learned this year that bull shark pups nest in the Mississippi River.
Right.
Mike Greenwell, what's up?
I'm gonna have to make me a trip over to Louisiana there and see if I can't catch some of them.
And to make your boat stink really bad.
I won't be on my boat. I'll be on Creoles, so I don't care how bad it stinks.
And Creel said, "So did I." He's like, "So did I."
So again, going back to, I'm having to throw this out every so often because we're getting new people into the show. It seems like every minute. We are doing a Q&A tonight. We are answering any questions that you guys might have or want to know the answers to that we can hopefully answer for you. There are no.
Well, I mean, we'll answer it in our expertise of how long we've been fishing, the areas that we fish. I mean, we can't speak on other places.
Okay, here we go. Snugster 101 states, what kind of fish do you guys catch? For the most part, catfish. That's one of our go-tos. That's what we generally try to catch. And the species of catfish that we mainly target are blue catfish. We will target flatheads and channel cats, depending upon, because we are all in different areas of the United States and are all in different types of waters. So just depending upon what time of the year, it depends on what we target.
I'm a multi-fisher. I'm multi-fish. So I fish for everything.
Whatever's biting.
Everything.
I creek fish. I'm probably one of the few people that do live stream creek wading on YouTube.
Yes.
So I have a niche for that, and that's something that I like enjoying doing. So, but I do catfish too. So
Justin's Fishing Fetish. What's up, brother?
What's happening?
And our other person about going to CatCon.
Thanks. Now I brought somebody that's caught a bigger fish than me in here.
We had to save him for last.
That's right. That's right.
Freddie wants to know best bait for winter blues in their rivers. He said, and he adds asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
Chad.
Around here, the PD area, eels.
Yeah, for you, the eels would be correct. You're right.
Yes.
Around here, shad.
Freddie caught several fish off of shad this weekend. And then there was some that was caught on chicken. I know there was some caught on chicken on my boat. Well, there was 2 caught on chicken on my boat.
I think a lot of fish this weekend were caught on chicken.
Kelly, rain, and storm started right your place around 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, I figured it was already raining probably about an hour or so ago. It was already coming down pretty good, but it's quit now. But yeah, I'd say it's going to be hitting me here pretty heavy around that time, definitely.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain around here till about 7 in the morning. Then temperature's going to start dropping, go from 61 to 30.
Yeah. Oh, I know. What's up, Jesse?
Yeah.
Justin, quick question. There was a question that was posed to us a while ago, and I just wanted to re-ask that question to you. Priya was asking for each. What's the one piece of information that changed the way that you fish the most? What would you say that would be
Catfish
for
could
you?
be caught in the daytime because I
Okay.
was always raised catfishing was for nighttime.
Well, and I hate to say this, and I know a lot of people are frown on it. Is if you wanted to catch big catfish, you had to go to a pay lake because there was no big fish in the water anymore.
Well, see, I proved that wrong
Right.
20 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I grew up. And I hate to say it. I mean, that's the way I grew up. I didn't know
That's
no
what
difference.
a lot of everybody always said, but when I should open my eyes back in because I caught a 74-pound flathead at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
All of my flathead come on a daytime fish. Yeah, PD. No, it does not stand by itself.
Now,
Anymore.
I do have
PD,
I do have
anymore.
Venmo, PayPal, and stuff like that. If anybody needs an electronic fish call, it can be rented out by the minute or the hour.
Justin,
Oh, bite the effing bait.
oh my God. Okay, so let me go ahead and throw
That's
this story
probably
out there.
The most fun fishing I've had my whole life because it was nonstop cutting up, laughing between me, Kevin, and Richard. And we had Jim on the Zello always hollering his fish call. And by God, it works.
It worked. Yep.
The Eddie Murphy version.
The Eddie Murphy version. Yes, we there was a point in which I think we lost a fish because we were laughing so hard, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Pro tip.
We could sure it was a pro tip.
But I mean, you caught your PB flathead right after that fish call on Pop's Rod, didn't you?
I did.
Yes, he did.
Yep, I sure did. that was definitely not the one we lost. Y'all leave my bear alone, Kelly, PD.
Matt. Hey, you have to throw Matt in there too.
Matt. Yeah, Freddie stated that all the fish that they caught were caught on cut gizzard shad, and they didn't have a single bite on chicken.
I've caught some big fish on chicken.
Yes, you have.
See, like on the Ohio, I've noticed the warmer weather, skipjack.
Big
Colder
bite.
weather, shad. You can catch it
I wonder
year
why that
round
is.
on shad, but a lot of times in the warmer weather, skipjack outperform the shad.
I think bluegill works best in the Ohio.
PD, don't make me time you out. So you think that so why do you see y'all got me messed up? So why do you think that is that
Temperature wise, because usually when the warmer weather, the skipjack are more prevalent, easier to find, and when the colder weather hits, I'm guessing the skipjack go deeper, but shad still.
Once it gets cold, those shads start dying off, and they just gorge themselves on them.
okay, that makes sense.
But and we've had this conversation before. But you have seen birds on the water. What do birds and chicken have in common?
They both
Pretty
got
much
meat.
everything. They're everything. I mean, they're
They
still
both shoot eggs out their
they're an
ass.
oily-based animal.
They got
I
feathers.
mean, during the summer we still catch channels on muscadines, grapes.
And I've seen the flathead come up on the Ohio River and eat baby ducks. Just come up and
Oh,
just
yeah.
grab them and gone.
I've seen that in a city pond.
That's the reason why I think chicken works. Is because of that reason.
I'm with you on that, Kelly. I'll tell you what, that's what basically talking about going back to that information we were talking about. What's some piece of information that changed the whole. In Creo talking about that catfish were predators, not necessarily the bottom feeding animals that we had always learned as we were growing up.
Okay, Big Mike corrected me.
The fact that they will I got you. The fact that they will eat, like you said, baby ducks and and other rats and anything else that get in the water, just goes to show that they are a predatory type fish. If it's meat, they'll eat it.
Wow.
They're not sucking down the crap that's on the bottom of the lake or the bottom of the river.
Miss Kentucky's really ugly.
Where did that come from? What are you
I'm
watching?
here watching the news and she won some election or something.
You watching that fake stuff?
That's Channel
Oh my
7
God.
local. We had a guy last night fall out of a tree and fell into the wood chipper.
What?
Yeah.
Only in Kentucky.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't even want to know what he was doing.
He works for a tree trimming company that goes around and does trimming for power lines. And evidently they had the chipper up there close so he could throw stuff down into it, and he slipped and fell and went into it.
That's very smart.
Makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what Justin was talking about. Go up in the creeks and bays.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Well,
okay,
and
so
that's where you're gonna find your catfish. Your catfish are gonna go right up with them too.
Well, and I was going to say that kind of makes me wonder if they're going up into those shallow areas for the very reason that we were talking about earlier, or that I was talking about earlier, with the sun coming up warmer those waters. The shallower areas, they get warmer quicker. So therefore, are they going up into those waters because they are trying to get warm? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to going deep like the cats will. The cats will tend to go when those waters get real cold, they'll go deep.
Well, a lot of people talk about the color of your catfish, and you got the lighter ones, you got the really dark color ones. It's because of the oxygen level, the light that they're getting to, the light. They're either going down, staying down deep, or coming up. Well, it has to be the same way as being with the heat. I mean,
I don't know.
they're wanting that warmer water, so they're going
I
to
had
come up.
catfish in an aquarium, and one was jet black, and the other one was damn near, real blue gray, and they were both channel cats.
Mm-hmm.
They both got the same amount of light, same food,
Yeah.
everything.
True.
Well, that could go back to DNA too. I mean, we all know that, the difference between an Arkansas blue and a regular blue cat is coloration and the fact that they've got a little knot on the head on the Arkansas blue. But DNA wise, they're the same cat. They just
The Arkansas Blues are just knot heads.
not heads exactly.
Like folks in Georgia.
Mike, you were fishing when Mike was talking about, or Big Mike was talking about, cats will travel in and out to feed, and that is true. That was what we were talking about earlier. Is the fact that when the sun comes up, those shad and whatnot, they tend to be up in those shallower areas, and so then they will the cats will come up to feed. They've still got to feed. They still got to eat during the wintertime, so they will follow the bait. You find the bait, you find your predatory fish.
Stan, we will be still thinking about you, buddy. Hope you feel better. Definitely, man.
Exactly. I want to say thank you to Susquehanna Stan for rooting for the Cooper River this weekend. Thank you so very much. I saw that. I certainly did. I want to appreciate that. All right. What else we got, fellas? Any questions? Give it to us. We got 21 in the chat right now. Any questions you might want to know, any answers to that we might can give you those answers to, please ask
I can
away.
answer any question you ask. It might not be the right answer, but I can answer any question.
You can answer it, no doubt.
Kevin, I got a question for you.
Oh my God. Go ahead, kid.
If the Ohio River was on fire like it normally is, do you think you would have had a chance to beat them?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say this based on what you just talked about, and I was very, very well prepared to say this tonight because it is true. we went into this battle without the expectation of winning it. We honestly did. We talked a lot of smack all during the little live streams and whatnot, but we literally went into this tournament with expectations of not winning. Honestly, I mean, we all said the same thing. If
933, Cody.
If we win this thing, we will be shocked, and we were happy, but we were shocked. But it goes back to what's the old saying: anything can happen. It doesn't matter how great of a team you have. It doesn't matter how great of waters that you fish. It doesn't matter. I mean, it just don't matter. Anything can happen. In this particular case with the Ohio, I mean, those are some good anglers we were going up against. I mean, no doubt. I mean, I'll take nothing away from J Dog, and you can screenshot this to him or tell him to go to this particular point, because I will give J Dog kudos. I give J Dog hell, but I will give him kudos. He's caught some really good fish. You know, the fact that he was in the tournament, I was like, okay, well, all right, we might not win this thing. Roger being in it with and having Skip Stewart on his boat, and Zach what was his name? Zach, and having Zach on his boat also.
Yeah,
three great anglers right there that know how to read those rivers.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, Chad. I mean, even with Chad and D, D knows what to look for. Chad just says yes, ma'am.
Pretty much.
But I mean, there was some really good anglers.
Then you got Greenwell.
And then there was Mike. Mike. Yeah, we got every time we hear Mike go fish on, we go, ooh, this can't be good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We went up against some really great anglers, and the circumstances, the temperature, the fog, it hindered them to our advantage. But listen, that's fishing. That's the name of the game, and it's a competition, and it don't matter, because in the end, and I'm not giving us kudos in this regards, but I am giving us kudos in the regards that in the end we come out on top simply because we just kept rolling. We just kept doing our thing, and we had
the sun shines on the Pooper River once in a while.
Exactly.
This is South Carolina. We have some great catfishing here, and somebody said in chat, water temperature is what wins. The other one's coming up. The other one's coming up in December. That's what's going to hurt a lot of people, because in December in South Carolina, we still have mid-60 days.
Yep.
Well, and Susquehanna Sands said something about, and if the tournament was in September, totally different results. Well, actually, it could have been, because the Ohio was on fire back in September.
Yeah.
They were catching fish back to back in September, constantly. Sure. J Dog was, Mike was, Greenwell was, Chad and them were. I mean, it was on fire. Yeah, different times of the year could make a big difference.
Well, and not only that,
this weekend they had fog.
Yeah,
and that's what three of them had fog the whole entire time.
You can't count fog. Them fish are 20 feet below water. They don't ever see it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't see. Well, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm not about the fish. I'm talking about being able to get on your spot.
Now, what?
Be able to see your spot, get on your spot. You can't see.
Right.
People don't understand. J-Dog got shot at twice this weekend.
Yeah.
Literally shot at twice this weekend from hunters had duck decoys on the water with the fog.
And that's the other thing too. And that's the other thing too. You've got a lot of things going on around you that can really hinder. We had a bass tournament going on at the same time we're out there. So there was a lot of traffic back and forth.
Yep.
I mean, and what do we all know happens when there's a lot of traffic on a body of water? It puts pressure in those waters,
right.
in those areas.
Absolutely.
Now, and when they have bass tournaments around Santee, you talking 200, 300 boats.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of boats in this thing, Plus, and we had the the hunters too, the duck hunters as well, out there. I mean, there was a couple times that them shots came real close to us, But the fact of the matter is, anything. Going back to what I was saying, anything can happen because it day to day things change, hour to hour, minute to minute, things can change. You know,
now with fog though, you got to look too that the barometric pressure changes when you get that fog.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I was waiting for somebody to come back and say something about it, but nobody ever brought that up. Because you won't have fog without the barometric pressure being low and pushing that down and condensating on top of the ground.
And see, and that put them, like especially like J Dog, where he's wanting at certain spots, you can't see with the fog, and he can't get to the spots that he wants because he can't see it. Plus, he has barges he has to deal with on his water.
Right.
Well, you can only see 10, like he said, he can only see 10 feet in front of your boat. Well, you have no clue if a barge is coming on until he gets right on top of you.
Only be able to see 10 feet in front of your boat, scary as hell.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
he was sitting there fishing, and next thing he knows, he's got gunfire hitting the water 5 feet in front of the boat. And he realizes there's decoys right there.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like
he starts coming out of that spot. He's got decoys on the other side of him. He parked right between two big sets of decoys.
If circumstances had been differently, where they didn't have the fog that they did have, which again, going back to what Jim was saying, didn't have the barometric levels being so low. If they had the nice sunny days that we had, or the sunny day that we had, and they were able to get to the spots that they know to fish, that they have fished and no fish are there. Yeah. The whole outcome of this particular tournament, this particular branch of the tournament, could have turned out differently. And that was what we knew. I mean, we knew from the get-go. Kevin and Freddie and all of us, we talked about it from the get-go before we even got on the river, before we even got to the date to fish this thing, that we probably wasn't going to win. I mean, we smack talk the devil out of everybody, but that's just what we all do. We smack talk. The fact of the matter is that we honestly did not think that we were going to come out on top. But then when we did, we were like, holy hell,
Well, that's the wonderful thing about fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why these tournaments are the way we like these tournaments, because anything can happen in these tournaments.
You can be fishing the best waters in the United States. Crap weather rolls in like that, shuts them down, and now it's not the best water.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the reason I like the online tournaments, because you got all different states. You know what I'm saying? You got more than one state. It ain't like, way we used to get together and fish like Monster Quest at Santee, because if we had bad weather, we all deal with the same elements.
Yeah,
right.
So now you got different states, totally different, elements going on.
It levels everything out, makes it more even.
It does.
Yep. Because all the waters are different. Cooper, the Cooper has some good fish in it. We've seen some good fish being caught in there, out of the Cooper River. But the rest of the rivers have some really. The what?
Cooper River ain't got nothing.
It's like the Oconee.
We got alligators.
And now, you got alligators. I mean, you turned in 10 fish for 100 pounds, so average of 10 pounds of fish.
Well, the good thing is Kevin doesn't actually fish the Cooper as much as as need be. So that's a good thing coming out of the Cooper. He goes back home.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the Cooper does have some decent fish. They don't have no major.
I bet the Cooper's got some real good fish.
They got some good fish. But the thing is that, the Tennessee. I mean, you got the Tennessee, the Ohio, the Potomac. I mean, all these great river systems that are in this tournament.
River, yep.
The James, the Mississippi. I mean, these are great waters. These are waters that are known for those 60 and 70s. I see that Jody's in the house. Jody's been catching some 50s and 60s lately, and some really beautiful fish, mind you. I gave Jody hell earlier today, so I got to kiss up to her a little bit. But anyways, but she really has been catching some really great fish lately. And here we are. There was two of us that had never fished that river, period. And there was a lot of smaller fish coming out of that particular, but I mean, again, like you were saying, Justin, it evened out the board, with the weather they were having and the fact that the type of fish that we have. Now we're going up against the Potomac, here in the near future, and in so doing, will we do as good? No. I mean,
Yes.
again,
You really don't know
no matter
because
what
you don't know how everything's going to be playing out. And at that time, you're all going to be fishing out. So
Sure. I mean, we could get
But
some
the
bad
Potomac
weather
gets
in
some
the
good
next day or
waters.
during that thing, and it shut us down. The Potomac could have the same exact thing. Their weather could be for crap. They could have a
We've seen it.
snowstorm.
we've seen it. We've
Exactly.
seen them. We've
You
seen
know.
them struggle. We've seen them struggle there
Exactly.
for a while.
So,
Turtle Lake's got
and
some good fish in it too.
Do what?
Turtle
Turtle
Lake.
Lake.
Lake's got some good fish in it
Turtle
too.
Lake. Turtle Lake is up.
And a lot of people don't. A lot of people discount a river system that nobody really talks about, the Cumberland River. Nobody talks about the Cumberland River. Cumberland
Well,
River
that's a
actually
striper
produces some
river.
big fish.
That's a
Well,
striper
Tennessee-
river is what that is.
Tennessee
Tennessee.
state record came out of the Cumberland River.
Mm-hmm.
Swamp Donkey said it right.
And they can. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like
They
I said, there's some big fish, but I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from any river system that's out there. There are some really good fish in all of them. The
Oh,
question is, do you know how to go out there and find them? And can you get on them once you find them? Just because you
Yeah.
find them doesn't mean you're going to catch them. We all
No.
know that.
No,
Yeah,
the,
we've-
you know,
the main
we've seen it.
question is
We've
if you
seen
going
it
to
too
get out
many
there and
times.
try to catch them.
We've seen it too many times where everybody's sitting up on top and like, oh gosh, look at the horde of fish. We know there are catfish down there. You throw your bait, you throw 8 rods out, you're not catching a daggone thing.
That's how we were down on Lake Wiley.
Mm-hmm.
We'd
Yeah.
get down there, we'd find a pile of fish, and we'd play hell catching one.
Yeah.
That's the same way with Richard and I when we were on Lake Wheeler for Winter Blues. I mean, they're just everywhere, and you couldn't get them to bite for nothing.
And
It's
all
the same
that
way with me and
again,
Richard at Santee, but we had like 4.5-foot swells.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's 4-foot swell for real. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, again, anything can happen that can either be to your advantage or to your disadvantage, depending upon the waters you're at and the type of, the type of circumstances that are surrounding that particular day. We'll still we've already started the smack talk between us and Potomac and everything. I mean, and it's fun. It's just all good fun. But we all know, no matter what, at the end of the day, anything can happen, and that's just a given.
I don't know, we've seen it too many times.
Who else fishing Potomac side?
You got Haz, Ernie the Hog Snatcher, you got Brian B, you got No Real Loss. I think that's the 4.
Yeah, that's the 4. Plus whoever their Joeys are.
Well,
So
I mean, you got E on with Brian
Well,
B.
for Brian B, you can count 3 pounds. So
well, you might as well realize it's all dinkfish.
it's all deep fish.
It's all dinkfish. He'll dink you to death.
Well, look at the Mississippi whenever they went up against
that's
who was it? I
exactly
think
right,
Mississippi went
Pon.
up against
That's
Davis.
exactly right, Jody. And they were all still friends, no matter.
Exactly.
We
I mean,
all
look
have
at-
a good time, and that's the main thing.
Except for when you do this and you're like, yeah, who cares?
No, that's fun.
I mean, Chad timed me out twice last night on the Catfish Weekly. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and you deserved it too.
I did because I was talking smack.
Mhm.
I was actually instigating way before the show started. So, but yeah, Jody's right though. At the end of the day, and that was one of the things that was stated. Matter of fact, I think Jody made that same type of statement last night on Catfish Weekly, that everybody is like family. Some of us might fight amongst ourselves, fuss and fight amongst ourselves, But at the end of the day, we're still friends, and we're still brothers or sisters. In
We're
this case,
not-
with Jody, you know,
We're not bass fishermen.
we're not bass fishermen. You know, we'll catch bass though. I like to catch bass. I will
Yeah,
say
we'll
that.
catch them, but we're not like them because at the end of the day, they're
Catfish
not our
show.
friends.
Come on, really? It's
Yeah, I know.
catfish show.
Thank you.
It's a catfish show.
Damn ditch pickler.
If we want to talk like that, we just bring up Josh the Weekend Angler up here.
I know, right?
Yeah, we want to talk about ditch pickles.
Well, fellas,
Unless we
have
talk
made
about
it
bait,
through-
don't talk about bass.
Yeah, we'll talk about
There
bait.
you go.
We're gonna, yeah,
Well,
I can catch a
will
lot
say-
of bait. I can catch a
well,
lot
I
of
will
bait.
say this. I
Look,
will say
Jim
this.
got bait on his wall.
I will say this. We like
He's
to have.
he's got bait behind him too. A turkey.
Yeah, he does. We have Amy Jo likes to have a bass to eat every so often, so I like to go out there and try and catch them, and you know it's fun. But I will keep the heads off of them for bait. So I do use them for bait as well. So, well, fellas, we have gone through a full hour so far, and we still have 17 people in the house. But BBQ said, "No way, Kev, talk smack." I can.
Jody
I'll
asked
do it
a
off-
question a while ago.
922, you can't even talk his way out of a wet paper bag. What are you talking about?
Jody asked
What'd
a
you say?
question earlier. It was 2,799 divided by 3. It was 933. I tried to answer her real fast as soon as she put it up there because y'all said ask anything.
True,
Right.
yeah, we did.
We did. I see that.
Oh, here we go. Hey, you said ask anything.
It's Twerking Bear.
No, it's under Bare Ass Adventures.
Twerking Bear S Adventures. Well, fellas, let me ask you this. Anybody in the chat at the moment have any other questions for us before we get off this panel tonight? Make it quick.
like
No
like you
people.
said, any question.
All right.
This is crazy. Like, this is the most serious show I've ever seen.
This is serious.
Think about it. There was more like legit talking than it was just cutting the fool.
That was true.
True.
That was true. But we had a lot to ask. I mean, there was a lot being asked, and so therefore we had to.
Well,
had
yeah,
to
we throw
answer
little
for it.
jokes here and there, but yeah, honestly, there's a lot of information was given tonight.
Oh yeah,
It was.
I think
Looks
you need
like
to do this
we're
about
all-
once a month.
So,
There you go.
so the 17, 18 people plus the ones on the panel. I'll throw it out there. What do y'all want to see next week? What kind of topic do y'all want to see?
Yeah, we have no
We'll
real
give it.
guest.
We'll give it up to you all. What kind of topic do you all want to hear about talking about next week?
Midget strippers fishing with dock demons.
I'm with that.
I could probably find a video of a midget stripper probably using a duck demon.
I'm sure you could. I mean, I did see you writing down, whatever that little website was that popped up on the screen last week. 351 said it's been a great show for sure. I appreciate that, buddy.
I appreciate it. 351.
All right, well, I tell you that y'all keep that in mind. We will do a poll. How about that, Kelly? Let's do a poll for next week. Throw it out there. We'll throw it on Facebook as well as on YouTube for this poll, and y'all just give us some answers out there. Something you might want to listen to, or listen to us talk about. And then we'll make that happen. Anything else, fellas? No. Then I'm gonna go ahead and call the show for tonight. Appreciate everybody in chat being with us tonight and asking those great questions. Creole was asking a good bit of questions that really made us think about what we needed to talk about tonight. Therefore, making this a very serious show, and I was proud of that. Like
Yep.
PD said, otherwise, it was a great show. I agree with that. You guys take care. We will be seeing you again next week at 7 o'clock on Twerking Tuesdays. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you.
I can't believe these